welcome you to, I guess it's Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the year. That means we have our Inter-County Day today. Yeah.
I know, first one.
And I already know what we're going to talk about today.
Might have an inkling, maybe.
Just kind of a hint.
Yeah.
Hint. We touched on it last month.
We did, just barely.
Barely.
Mm-hmm.
But we did touch on it. Anyway, we welcome Heather in from Inter-County Tuesday, and good to see you. You had a good
nice
holiday?
To be here. We did, yep.
Very good, very
Crazy,
good.
it's 2026. That went by really fast.
How do you like Christmas falling in the middle of the week?
Well, it fell on a Thursday, and I took off on Friday, so it was fine.
Did you take half a day off on Wednesday for Christmas Eve?
We were actually closed on Christmas Eve.
What?
I know.
Well, I know, but you don't get a chance to close. You got to go shopping and
No,
stuff.
I
No,
was done
you
well
were
before
smart.
Christmas
You got it all
Eve.
done early. Yeah.
That stresses
they
me out
said
to
it
think
wasn't
about
as
it.
crowded out there.
Well,
and
maybe.
I noticed some shopping malls. Either people got it done early, and I know some people are shopping online.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of that, probably.
But they actually said this online shopping this year actually had decreased a little.
Really? Okay.
I think people. Well, first off, things were so expensive. I think people had to cut back. So
There's probably a mix of all of that.
yeah, a little bit of all of it.
Yeah.
Never know what the circumstances are going to be. But anyway, glad to have you. Welcome to
absolutely.
2026.
Right?
Thank you. Happy New Year to you.
And Happy New Year to our listeners, too. Hopefully it's gone well so far.
Well, I can't complain.
Nope.
If I did, and nobody here but us.
If you did, you would complain, but it wouldn't change anything, would it?
It's not going to change
Yeah.
much. Really won't. So anyway, well, we really appreciate everybody listening in on us on KSMO. We have a couple of things to talk about today, but the big number one will be obviously Youth Tour, and that's coming up. Well, next month they're going to have to write that essay. So juniors out there, get the pens and pencils out, and you're going to have to, or your laptop, your Chromebooks, whatever it might be.
Right, get some words down.
Tablet, I don't care.
Yeah.
Just get ready for it. But I know Heather's going to enlighten you on the Youth Tour for 2026.
Yeah, and we've actually already started visiting the schools. We were in Salem last week, so we visited Salem.
You didn't have any weather this year.
Hey, do not jinx that because we still have several.
Sorry.
Today's our 4th out of 9. We'll be over in Plato this afternoon, but
You should be good today.
we should be good today.
You should be good this week.
I think so. So we had Rolla yesterday, and then last week we had Mountain Grove and Salem. So we'll have 4 down at least, but yeah, we've got Thursday and Friday this week we have more schools, and then I think Monday and Thursday next week wrap up the last 2.
Okay.
And it's going to be beautiful weather, and there's not going to be any snow days,
I don't think
and we're going
so.
to get to talk to all of these kids.
Yeah, there won't be snow. Make a little rain.
Yeah, that's fine. We can talk.
A little bit of rain.
Rain.
I really don't see any snow. Maybe end of the month, we might get some precipitation. We need rain.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rain-
big time.
Rain's fine. You know my opinion. We could go right into spring, and
We
I wouldn't
could,
be
but we
sad.
still need rain. I mean, we have only had, I think, since the 1st of December, just a little over half an inch
Yeah.
of rain? That's not enough.
No, it's pretty dry.
Actually, this would be drought conditions, but thank goodness it's cooler. But we've had some very, very pleasant weather as well.
Yeah, we have. We absolutely have. But back to Youth Tour.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We don't want to miss out on Youth
We don't want
Tour.
to miss out on Youth Tour. So we have started visiting the schools. If you're a junior, hopefully you're not listening because you're in school. Maybe you're listening later to the recording. But if you know a junior, you have a kid or a grandkid or a neighbor, someone you know that's a high school junior, they have a really, really unique opportunity to write an essay and win a trip to D.C. or Jeff City.
Did you have anything like this when you were in school?
I did, but one of the reasons why we want to make sure we get into each classroom or we get to do, yesterday we did a presentation to all of the juniors at Rolla at one time, is because it hasn't always been that way. And when I was a junior, it was taken to the counselor's office. The co-op, presumably someone in the department I work in now, they took the information, a packet, to the counselor's office.
And they assumed that the school would let them know?
Yeah, and each school's different. We had one of the teachers to the schools that we already visited. She shared the same thing with her students. She said, hey, it's a big deal. You all have the opportunity to do this. And and they're judged blindly, and we'll go over that here in a minute. But she said, you all have a chance. And when she was in high school, she said it was taken to the counselor's office, and the counselor kind of picked the 3 students that they wanted to have this opportunity. And so that information was given to them, and times have changed, and for the good, I think.
Well, I mean,
you know,
that's kind of ruthless.
well,
And
and
you pick
even
your favorite 3 students, and there you go. Here goes, write 500 words here, and you'll be the only 3, and you're good.
right, and even if it's just put in the announcements, not all teachers read the announcements. What if you're gone the day it's in the? There's just a lot of variables, and we want to make sure that all of these juniors hear about it, and then they can decide, do I want to participate or not? And if they choose not to, that's fine, but at least it's not because they didn't have the information. So how the essay contest works, and we've changed a few things this year. I know. We are like,
What?
2026 has changed. We've got more change to talk about later today, too. But
Heather,
I know.
the
It's
whole
a lot.
studio's different now. You guys are coming in with more change?
I know. My head's about to explode. I've got a little bit of anxiety, but we'll get through it.
Well, you just have to talk in the microphone.
Yeah.
Your part in here is easy.
Yeah. You got to figure out all
I
the
gotta
tech
figure out
stuff.
the rest of
Well,
it,
that's
yeah.
how I am back at work at the
Oh,
office.
they've
but I
changed your office?
No, just the
all
just
the different
stuff.
changes being
yeah,
made, yeah.
the changes the stuff we're changing.
Well, let's get back to youth tour.
Youth
We don't wanna
tour.
get off
I
that,
keep
yeah.
digressing. So we're taking the top 4 essays from each school this year. And we are doing that because, Stan, you know, every year we have kids that win the contest and
They back out.
they back out. They
or
don't.
they something happens.
Right,
I won't
some-
necessarily back out.
something comes
They may
up.
have not have known they were going to play on a family vacation at that time.
Right. There are things that come up and cycle. The Jeff City trip doesn't become a priority, and there are spots unfilled every year. And we've been unable to fill those slots because the 4th place, let's say there is a 4th place essay at the school, they didn't go through the process of interviewing. They didn't complete the whole process. So what we're doing this year is we're asking the teachers to give us their top 4, and we're enticing those teachers, the coordinators at each school, because we've said, hey, if you send 4 kids to judging, we will give you a $50 Amazon gift card for your classroom. So hopefully, we're crossing our fingers, that little bit of enticement. We are totally fine with bribing, you know, and it helps the classroom, helps the teachers.
Not bribes.
No, what is it? It's encouragement.
It's encouragement.
It is encouragement. and we
it's-
do want to help with their classrooms.
It is encouragement.
And what we've told them is it's a lot of work to be a coordinator for a program. And we have asked them all these years to do that, add that into what they're already doing. We should have been doing something for them prior anyway. So it's nice to offer them that this year. Once the top 4 come to us, those 4 students are going to get that Q&A packet with questions and answers about the co-op. And then judging day, instead of being on a Saturday, we're doing it on a Wednesday. And we're letting the coordinator bring the students over.
Whoa.
I know. I told you, big changes. These kids are busy. And there are students that are involved in so many things that coming to an interview on a Saturday sometimes prevents them from competing in the contest. Last year we had kids, there was a beta club, I don't know if they're called competition, a meet.
Yeah.
They've had scholar bowls,
Quiz bowls,
stuff. They've had choir.
Yeah.
State choir is usually in March, right around that time. We've had schools that have
is
had
true.
prom that day. It's hard for the kids who are involved in other things. And you hate to see a student like that not get to participate because
Of their involvement.
of their involvement.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Doing what they're supposed to do.
Right. So that is different, but the interview process will still be the same. We'll interview the students one at a time. And then that day we'll let them know who's going to DC, which 2 are going to Jeff City, and then there will be the alternate. And what we've told the students so far is do not be discouraged if you leave that day as an alternate. Last year was our highest in a really long time participation in cycle, and there were 9 kids. We can send 18. That means last year, every single one of the alternates would have been able to go to cycle to Jeff City.
So if
they wanted
another
to.
school's alternate, so let's say they're an alternate from Mountain Grove and nobody shows up from, and all 3 from, or the 2 from Salem show up, but that Mountain Grove alternative, maybe both of their people don't go. Does the
Right.
other Salem person get to go?
Right. We're going to try to get
It's like
as
a
many.
pool. You're going
It
to open
is.
it up like a pool.
It is. We'll
All
offer it
right.
to the student from that school first. So, like last year, for instance, we were in Rolla yesterday. Neither one of the Rolla students went on the cycle trip. We would have been able to offer the alternate that opportunity, but then one of the alternates from another school, if both of their delegates were attending, they would be able to fill in. So we want these kids to participate. We want them to have that experience. They've made top 4 essay writer. They went through the interview process. We want them to be able to attend the trip. So, and that's what we budget for. We budget for 18 kids to go to cycle. We would
Yeah, I'll
love to
go.
send, me too, right?
Yeah.
I could try to blend in.
Well, I might be a little gray around the temples.
Yeah. But,
But I'll go.
and we've told them, and it's new this year, so we don't know exactly what the gift for the alternate would be, but our finance director has said there may be a dollar sign in front of that gift. So we've told the kids, hey, even if you make top 4, you do the interview, you end up as alternate, and for some reason everybody goes and you don't get the opportunity to attend one of the trips, there will still be a gift to that student for
Still some kind
their
of
work.
recognition
Something.
and reward for being
And-
in the top 4.
And we don't quite know what it is yet, but we're going to make sure to reward them some way for making top 4. So I think those are some good changes this year. It's changes.
Did you guys
different-
talk about these changes, or
Our
did somebody,
department did, yep.
Okay, I
Yep.
mean, or did somebody just say, "Hey, look, I'm tired of, the budget department's tired of budgeting for 18 people. We're only doing 9. Let's open it up, and add another kid on
Yeah.
there, or
Well,
a possibility of another child, or
Yeah.
whatever."
And co-ops across the state, we have a youth tour coordinator meeting. We get together, kind of pool our ideas and put our heads together. And all co-ops, we're really struggling to get kids to go to cycle. Some of them have opened that up to sophomores. That really puts a kink in how we do our program. So
Oh,
we're like,
yeah.
oh, we don't want that big of a change quite yet. So what if we start with an alternate and let's see how
I think
this
it's a good
works.
idea, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's a very good idea.
So
I
we'll
wish I'd have thought of that one. I didn't even think of that.
well, I know what's
We've
going
talked
on.
about this for quite a few years. I mean, I've talked about it with a lot of people from Inter County for quite a few years.
Yeah.
I don't think that's even been suggested
Yeah.
to have an
Well,
alternate.
we're hopeful. And, if you're one of the 2 that won Jeff City and you got an alternate that's really wanting to go, you might be more likely to be like, well, maybe I should want to go. Well, I do want to go. I'm going to go on this
would
trip.
think.
Yeah. So
They should want to go anyway because it's a unique experience, Heather.
it is. Yep. And we talk about this every year, but I want to stress it again. This is a free trip for these kids. They're not having to do fundraisers. They're not having to money out of their own part-time job, paycheck, or mom and dad. The co-op funds it. They just have to write the essay and do the little 5-minute interview. And then
Seems like a pretty good payback.
yeah, it's
For a
really
little
good.
bit of effort.
It's really good. One of our teachers last year made their kids figure out a return on investment. She's like, "What's the value of the DC trip?
Oh,
Okay, kids, what's the average amount of time it would take a student to write 250-word essay plus a 5-minute interview?"
return on time. My
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's like, "You guys are constantly thinking about things in terms of dollars."
Yeah, how
Let's
would
put
they
it
even
in-
know what the value is of that trip? I mean, in all honesty, unless you go and price everything, good luck on that for today from into,
Mm-hmm.
June, July, August. Nobody knows what those prices are going to be.
Right.
So you're thinking, holy cow, but, just the air flight fare alone. Mm-hmm. And then the motel rooms,
Yeah,
food.
right.
We're not even talking about going into any places and transportation and everything. Whew.
Right. We figure about $2,500 a kid that goes out there.
That
And-
still sounds pretty cheap.
Well, and a lot of that is you do it in advance and you've got
Well,
bulk
you
tickets
got bulk,
and
right?
yeah,
I mean, I understand
yeah,
that, but
absolutely.
but I'm still saying $25 a child is still
yeah.
pretty reasonable.
And to put a price on the experience that they get when they're out there, you
priceless.
can't do that. No. And the kids that they win this trip, they're excited. They won. They're going to get to go to DC. They come back and they'll tell us every single year, "I had no idea what I won. They thought they did.
Well, they don't. No. How would you? If you've never been there, you would never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You would. You do not realize how many things are there.
Yeah.
I remember picking up a brochure, and I can't remember, it was at a restaurant. The thing was like 16 pages long, just of museums and things in the area.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not even talking about all of D.C. in the area, and it just kept going and going and going. And there's little museums here, there's little museums here, a specialty shop here that is only found in D.C. It's
Right.
pretty. I mean, there's just so much to see
There is.
that if you turn your head, you're gonna miss some.
Right. Yeah.
As you're walking down the street, if you're looking this way, you're gonna miss the art museum on this side, or you're gonna miss the Indian museum on that side, or whatever it might be. There's always something to
Right.
miss. There's always something to see, obviously. But there's always something to miss.
Yeah.
Because you can't see it all.
Yeah. And we fit in as much as we can that week out there. But we tell the kids that first night. So the trip this year is a Sunday to Saturday. So that Sunday we'll pick the kids up. We take them to Columbia. And Intercounty will have 9 that go to D.C., 1 from each of the high schools. And they will meet up with the other 100-ish students from across the state of Missouri. Last year we had 108 total delegates from Missouri. So they all meet that first night. They meet their chaperones. They kind of go over here's your final itinerary. Here's how we do things. This is going to be bus 1, this bus. Like, they get a game plan.
Sure.
And then the next morning, they load them up on a couple of tour buses. They take them to the airport. They fly out to D.C., and they barely sleep after that. I mean,
Yeah.
we take advantage of being in the nation's capital, and we are out late, and we're up early, and we do a lot of walking, and we tell them, pack comfortable shoes, and
Yes.
somebody every year will wear flip-flops. So if you know a junior and they end up winning the trip, please tell them to pack comfortable
Well,
tennis
there's
shoes.
not a lot of hills in D.C., thank goodness.
That's
there
true.
are some. There's not a lot of hills. There's a lot of steps that there is. And but the thing is, though, there's a lot of concrete.
Yeah.
And you are better off with a lot more comfortable shoes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And than you would be in flip-flops, especially trying to climb the steps to the Capitol. That gets a little bit hairy.
Yeah.
But really, in all honesty, Heather, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
It is.
To go to our nation's capital, and it costs you maybe 10 to 15 minutes of time.
Yeah. Mountain Grove was our first school last week. Thursday, we went and visited them. And how we do that there is we have the English teacher, and we get to visit with each one of her junior classes. So we had a couple of classes in the morning, and then we had a couple after lunch. And our last class we were presenting to, we were stressing to the kids, hey, not a huge investment of your time.
And they had it done before you left.
And the teacher said she already had an essay turned in from one of the morning classes. And she said, guys, it is not going to take you that long. And so
But they have to write it on a theme. And
Yeah,
Heather,
we haven't
you
even-
have kept us in utter suspense. What is this
Yeah.
theme?
So we're asking the kids to write about a lesson they've learned in life so far, how it's impacted them. There's not a right or wrong answer. It's not a research paper.
Lesson they learned in life.
Tell us about something you've
A
learned
hard
in life.
lesson? A good lesson?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
They get to
I
decide.
get to decide.
Yeah.
My lesson learned in life was to do the inter-county essay when I was a junior, but it wasn't around.
Flopped on that one,
Wasn't
didn't
around
I?
where I lived. I know that. Okay. Well, that's
Yeah. So
well, that will
something.
make them think a minute,
Yeah.
hopefully, or they may already know right off the top of their head. Sometimes you have something that happens in your life that just
Right.
changes the course of
And it
of how you
doesn't
think.
have to be this huge lesson. It could be
No, but some are life-shattering.
Some are,
Or
absolutely.
life-altering. I
Some
shouldn't say
absolutely are.
life-shattering, but life-altering.
Yeah. I think the essay that was already written had something to do with about the importance of being kind. And so there's going to be a whole array of lessons that these kids have learned. They'll be interesting to read. They'll
It
probably
will be. And that's got to
moving.
come from the heart.
Yeah. And that's what our teachers have asked us the
No
last
AI
few
on that one.
Yeah. Especially last year, they had said, we appreciate that these are opinion based on life experiences because we're really struggling with the use of AI. And And what we've been told so far by the teachers in regards to this topic is even if they use AI, they're going to have to feed so much personal information into that that it's going to basically just help them get their sentences formed nicely, and that's something that a tutor could do or a teacher could help with. So hopefully they don't feel the need to have to use that unless they're asking for help on grammar and stuff like that. But
I really wish AI would just go away for high school students. They really don't need it. They need to learn how to write. They need to learn how to think. They need to learn how to do it on their own. Now, once you get in the business world, okay, I understand it. You know, you don't have as much time. You get under a little stress, and maybe you just become absolutely, you know, I don't want to say, you can draw a blank when it comes to ideas. Sometimes it happens. You just can't think, or you've got an idea, you just can't finish it off where a little AI could help out, you know, and then it give you a push. But I think in high school, I think it's just too early. They can't learn how to write if a machine's doing it for them. I mean, that's my own opinion. But, and just like you're saying, putting together something where somebody has to live their own personal experience kind of does make them have to put that down in paper. You'd have to write it down. I mean, I'm just thinking about my own experiences. I'd have to write it down and then how it affected me. Not just maybe the event that happened, but then how did that affect me? How did that change me?
Right.
How did that alter what I'm doing now, or you know, how did that affect my life at that time and maybe even in the future? Now, these kids obviously don't know the future, but how it's affected them at that age, and maybe it happened when they were 5 or 6.
Right. And maybe it was something that happened this past weekend.
That's exactly right.
And they've learned something from that. And so hopefully...
Good topic, though. You picked a good one.
Well, thank you.
Did you pick it?
I did.
You're amazing.
This is the fun stuff. This is the fun part of my job, the things that I enjoy doing.
Well, very good. Well, it is a very good topic.
Yeah, we're excited to see what the kids have to write about and reflect on a little bit. And hopefully we have 4 essays from each school, and we get to send some alternates, and we got a bigger group of kids represented there in Jeff City.
Great.
Yeah.
But it's for juniors.
Juniors.
Only.
Right. So these seniors that this year, they didn't do it last year, their opportunity has come and gone because
no exceptions.
No more. Yeah. And I do want to point out, if you have a homeschool student, if they are a junior, they can also participate. We're seeing that more and more as homeschooling becomes more popular option. What you'll do is turn that into the coordinator at the public school district that your student would attend if they attended public school. So you can either call us at Intercounty and ask us who the coordinator is. We can give you that information. Or you can call the school and just say, hey, I have a homeschool junior who's going to participate in Intercounty's youth tour contest. Can you tell me who the coordinator is? And then hopefully they can just transfer you to that person. Might be a little difficult if they're a teacher as opposed to a counselor. You may have to wait on a call back, but they can give you the deadline because the top 4 is going to be due to us by the last day of February. I think it's like the 27th.
Well, the last day of February is the 28th, honey.
Well, the last school day.
Oh, you mean like school day? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Friday the 27th, we're asking the coordinators to have those top 4 essays to us, which means they're going to have a deadline probably middle of February, because what they do, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, how they're judged blindly. Tried to combine some words there.
Blood?
They're bludged. They're judged blindly. Those coordinators, they don't actually judge those essays. They remove the names, number them, and then they have a panel of teachers that then read those essays. They don't know which student has turned those in. They're just a number, and then they get that back to the coordinator, and the coordinator pairs it back up with a name. So, good process.
It's about the best process I can think of that you can do it in high school, make it fair for everybody. It's for juniors only. Again, we're reminding you, and that includes homeschool juniors, as Heather just said. So it's not limited in any way, shape, or form, but it is only to juniors. It's not limited, but seniors, sophomores, freshmen, Seniors, it's too late. Sophomore, freshman, mark it
on.
down. Then in January, we're going to be talking about this again next year, and then the
Right.
next year, and then the next
Yeah.
year. It just happens every year. Be prepared for it in February. And, of course, we have been very fortunate this year that you actually have been able to get out to the schools and get this done. We've had very good weather to get you guys
Right.
around, and last
Right.
year was not the case. I think you got to Salem like very late in
Oh,
January.
Yeah, and after rescheduling it, I think like 3 times
Yeah.
or something. There was a lot of snow days last year.
Yeah, so we had some issues in January. So, anyhow, I'm glad that you were able to get those
Yeah, me
4
too.
in. Now you still got a few to go.
Yeah, a
But
couple
that's
more
all
this
right.
week. And
I really don't see you having any
yeah, I think it'll be
major
fine.
problems this year, which is good.
If we do, we'll just blame Stan.
You can blame me. I got big shoulders. All right, very good. All right, so the youth tour, and again, do you have the dates of the
Yeah.
when you're going to be traveling?
Yep. So the DC trip is going to be in June. It's June 14th through the 20th.
Oh, not that.
Doesn't work for your schedule.
It does. I'll make it work.
Okay. That's what most kids tell us.
I'll make it work.
June 14th through 20th, that's going to be the DC trip. And I do want to point out the 20th, the last day of our trip, when we return to St. Louis, is the first day of Boys and Girls State, which is also for juniors going into their senior year. It was the same way last year, and we had a few of the Missouri delegates that went out to DC who were also able to attend Boys and Girls State. And what we do is we will go meet the students at the airport, hour 9, and we pick up our 9 students from the airport and we bring them back home to our neck of the woods and get them to their parents and guardians.
Okay.
But the students that were going to Boys and Girls State, they had their parents meet them at the airport with a new suitcase full of luggage, and then they took them to Boys and Girls State, and they were able to do both. So it is possible, if your student is selected as a delegate for that too, there will probably be a few others in the same
would
boat.
assume, yes.
I don't remember how many last year, but it wasn't just 1 or 2. There was a handful of them, and they made it work. So it's possible if you're in that boat, you can do both. Just
Yeah, I would. That'd be tough to give that up.
they may want
It's
to
all
they may
in.
want to sleep for a couple of days when they get back. But yeah,
It'll catch up to them. But you know what? You only get this
they're young,
once.
they're fine.
You only get this once.
They can sleep on the
Where
plane.
somebody exactly. You can.
Yeah,
You can snore on the plane too, but somebody will probably bump you a little bit.
yeah,
But you know, the thing is, it's once in a lifetime.
right.
You only get this one opportunity to do this. One that you're going to possibly win an incredible value. I can't even imagine as a high school junior winning something like this, and then going and doing this. I mean, as a high school junior, I just remember I'm basically working all the time or
Yeah.
doing this and your daily grind. You know,
Right.
not even thinking about taking a trip with a whole bunch of people. I don't have any clue who they are.
And
Possibly.
yeah, most
Maybe
of them
I
are
do.
in the
Maybe
same
I know a
boat.
couple. But wow. And then go to D.C., spend a week with people, make new friends, good connections. Later on in life, you might be making.
Yes. Yep.
And of course, you're going to have an opportunity to learn, observe, keep your mouth shut, watch, listen. Because
Just
there's a
absorb
lot
it.
to
Yeah.
absorb
There
in
is.
D.C. There's just so much. But if you don't win the D.C. trip, there's still what I call a very, very, very exciting second prize.
There is. So the cycle conference is in July, and that's going to be the 14th through 17th. And it also is free. Obviously,
You guys are going to be busy.
we
Every
yes.
14th, you guys got something.
Something,
going on.
yeah, right?
And you got the annual meeting in between. Holy cow!
Yeah, we just sandwich that in there. No big deal.
That's true.
Yeah. But it's the 14th through 17th.
You ought to
and
see your face, which is no big deal.
no big deal. Annual meeting.
Yeah,
Also, one of the things we're changing this year. But
We'll get to that.
We'll
later.
get to that later.
Yeah, we got a youth tour to talk about.
Yeah.
Talk about cycle.
Cycle it's the trip that these kids win that they're disappointed in. It's kind of what it's become. And
Second place.
we hate that. And we get it. Like, you make top 4, yeah, you're studying that Q&A book. You want to win the trip to DC, and they're let down a little when they win Jeff City. And we've had students who their parents have made them go, and they have not been very happy about it, and it's been very obvious. And they come back and totally different attitude. They're very appreciative. They've had a fantastic time. And we've been trying to tell the kids, a lot of them go to Jeff City, like 5th grade or middle school.
Visit the Capitol.
They visit the Capitol. They go to Jeff City and they visit the Capitol.
Sure.
So they win this trip and they're like, meh.
Already been there.
I've already
done
been
that.
there. It's 4 days, and we do not spend it all at the Capitol. You do not just keep walking in a circle and looking at all the same things. We spend one whole entire day. We put them on some charter buses. We take them to St. Louis. They get to go to the Arch. They get to go to the City Museum, which is not actually a museum. It's a giant indoor-outdoor playground.
Well, there's a lot of stuff in there that you won't find anywhere else.
No, you won't, because it's totally unique.
Totally unique.
So I guess in
It's
that
like that and the
sense,
Magic
it's
House are about. They're
Yeah.
both very, very unique.
they are.
You know, I'm not trying to sell either one, but if you've never been there and you've got kids, go.
Yeah. If you've got a
Go.
junior, they'll get to go for free. So we take them to the Arch. We take them to the City Museum. And then we wrap up the day at Dave & Buster's. And they get game cards and more food than they could ever eat. And they just get to hang out with 100 kids from Missouri. And it's just a fun day.
It is.
It's a fun day for them. But we tell the kids, we are going to go to the Capitol one afternoon, but it's not just your typical high school field trip where you walk in a single file line. They get the opportunity to go out on the House floor. If you've ever been to the Capitol, you know that's not something you get to do.
No.
But these kids get to go, they get to sit in the seats of our legislators, and they work through the process of a bill becoming a law. If you can imagine the look on kids' faces when you tell them, hey, you can write an essay. Hey, you can do an interview. And then, hey, you get to sit on the House floor and learn how a bill becomes a law. Our job is a little hard because those are not things that are super exciting to kids.
Until.
But it is exciting for them, and they get that they're involved and they're part of the process, and it makes sense to them. And whether they understood it before or not, they will leave knowing what that process is like. And it's all on the kids. A couple years ago, it was really lighthearted, and the kids proposed a bill and passed a law that no one in Jeff City could wear a purple shirt or something along those lines. Last year, the group had a much more serious bill that they debated and proposed and passed, and it was something to the effect of making adoption more affordable. But whatever it is that they decide to do, the process is the same. And they get to sit in the seats of those legislators. They get to use the mics. They're standing up. They're getting to debate. There's a speaker that's appointed. It's the whole process, and they're learning by being involved in it. And it's pretty cool,
Yeah.
even if they don't think it sounds very cool.
So once you get started, you can see why things get stagnated.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, everybody has an opinion.
Stuff gets added.
and then even though the bill's written, this isn't included, this is not included, this is too restrictive, this is no, we can't do that. Purple
Yeah.
shirt, does that mean what kind of grape purple? Are we talking dark purple, light purple?
Right.
You know, you can really just see why legislators, they have a lot on their plate when they go
They
and
do.
debate these bills. They really
Yeah.
do. In real life. Now, you're going to have here you got an opportunity to do something that's obviously not real life, but it's real enough that this is what you would do if you
Yeah.
decide you want to run for office. This is part of the process.
Yeah, they get a taste of that. And so we tell them, you are going to go to the Capitol, but it's not the whole trip. We take them to Missouri State Penitentiary. They get to tour that.
You don't leave them there?
No, we don't leave them there. Some of them will be terrified, I'm sure. But they do that. They really enjoy
that's
that.
a great trip.
Yeah, they enjoy that. They have had Casey Wolf, the Kansas City Chiefs mascot, the last several years. He comes and speaks to them. Great motivational speaker, pretty incredible life story, super positive message to the kids. And then, of course, he brings his mascot costume, and he's got his giant Super Bowl rings.
He's
and
retiring?
He is, yeah. So he's still, as far as I know, he's still speaking this summer to our
Okay.
kids. So
Okay.
they get to do some fun stuff. They have a hypnotist come in one night. The kids do not have to participate if they don't want to, but they get to watch. And I've seen video clips of this, and it is hilarious. And the kids, they just laugh and have fun, and it's a good time. And they make those connections like you talked about earlier. And that is so important for your
It
future.
really is.
You make those connections. And maybe it's not with the kids that you attended the trip with, but maybe it's with the chaperones. Maybe it's with the co-op system. We tell them, you come back, it's your senior year, you're filling out college applications and scholarship applications. Even if they're going directly into the workforce, they're going to have to do a resume and a job application. And if they can list these things, hopefully that helps them outshine someone who's competing for the same thing. And you never know when that little bit of a, hey, I did this co-op thing, they might end up at a co-op, or they might end up being interviewed by someone whose spouse or sibling works at a co-op. Like it's
Or who went on the trip when they were a
who went on the
kid.
trip when they were a kid. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, it's building those connections. Yes, it's a really fun free summer trip, but it can be so much more.
It can be rewarding.
It can.
That could be their lesson that they learned.
It could.
Really good.
Take
They could write
take
on
the
that.
time to try for things that you might not know if you can.
Yeah, nobody knows what their future is going to hold, and it always is good to have options. You know, and I gotta tell you, when I was in college, I remembered very much the connections I made with the friends I made. I mean, I played on a Billiken hockey team from St. Louis University. I made so many connections with people in St. Louis, with people in Canada, and
Yeah.
it was, you know. And then I actually took a trip when St. Louis University dropped their program, and I went to Miami of Ohio. I actually took a 1-month tour
Oh wow.
through Canada, visiting most of my old teammates. And I wouldn't see them again.
Yeah.
Some of the ones that stayed in St. Louis that were going to be seniors the next year, they couldn't leave and go to another program.
Right.
So I got a chance to go visit some of them, and it was really
Yeah.
I mean, talk about long drive. I won't tell you, if you're going to drive from Toronto to Winnipeg, you're going to have to
Be
stop
prepared.
in the middle. You know? And there's only one town in the middle, and it's called Wawa, and there's
And
not
you better
much of a
stop.
motel there, so you better be ready. And it's a long, long drive. But I'll tell you what, it was so rewarding because you don't really realize those connections you're making, and then you go there and you visit these people, and then you actually see how they grew up in their life. You know, you do your thing, and then you make the hockey team. Well, they did their thing, and then you're seeing one in Toronto. You're seeing another one in Manitoba. I went to Souris, Manitoba, which is up in the Arctic Circle virtually. And then, you know, and I visited a couple people in Winnipeg, went down to Minneapolis and stayed there for a week with a friend there that I played hockey with.
Yeah.
And he was a carpenter, and his dad had a carpenter business, and I'm just, you know, you become amazed at when did you have time
People.
to play? When did you have time to do this?
Yeah.
How did you learn? You know, and you ask a lot of questions, you get a lot of answers. People love to tell you about their life.
Yeah. And with social media today, it's so much easier for them to stay in touch,
Stay in
and
touch.
and keep those connections and build on those connections. And well, our Salem delegate that went last year, McKenna Faulkner, she actually came and kind of helped us when we were talking to the kids in Salem last week and answered some questions and kind of let them know not to be freaked out about the interview, because it seems like they all visibly shiver when you say interview. They're like, oh, that sounds awful.
They've never done it.
No. And she's like, guys, it was not hard. You already knew the questions and answers ahead of time. It only lasted like 5 minutes. So it's nice to have the previous winner. But she's told us, she's like, there's some kids she met on youth tour that she's part of a group chat with. She said, we talk almost every day. Still. I mean, that was last summer. And she's building those connections. And who knows where that'll take her in the future.
Right. Because you just never know when somebody you meet on that tour might have exactly the right product or the right service that you need somewhere else down the road. Or they know of somebody who can provide that service for you.
Right.
So always keep your ears and eyes open. As I said, sometimes it's better to keep your mouth shut and listen. But then when you have something to interject, make sure you make it
Yeah.
poignant.
Yeah.
So that people don't think you're just a clown. Which is fun. It's always fun to joke around too. But when you do have something important to say, make sure you say it correctly.
Yeah.
Make
It's
a
important.
point. But again, the cycle trip is another great opportunity for you not only to see how government works, but also to make those connections as well. Yep, it's not the D.C. trip, but it is still another opportunity for you to do that. And those connections may be a little bit closer to home,
Yeah.
when you're doing the cycle trip. So kind of keep all that in mind. I truly believe this is an incredible opportunity that Intercounty offers. Juniors only now.
Right.
But it is an opportunity that these co-ops, like I said, when I grew up, this was not available. I wish it would have been.
Yeah.
Because I'd have been filling out 50 essays, changing my name on every one of them.
Right. Oh.
You win all three.
You're like, ooh.
Yeah, that might constitute fraud. But, the whole idea, what I'm trying to say is that don't let this opportunity pass you by. If
Yeah.
you're a grandmother, mother, father, grandfather, uncle, aunt,
Right.
if you have a person who's a junior in school, don't let them just blow this off.
Yeah.
And I know kids like to blow stuff off. I did. I'm sure you did when you were in high school. There are certain things that doesn't interest me.
Yeah.
I'm just going to blow it off.
Well, and a lot of the kids, we were one of the schools last week, and the kids like, yeah, but we have like 100 and some kids, juniors in our class.
So?
Well, the teacher interjected and she said, the most I've ever had turned in has been 10 or 12 in all the years that she's been doing it. And she's been doing it a long time. She said 10 or 12. You don't have to make top 4 out of 140 kids. You have to make top 4 out of a dozen or less. And then it was like, oh, well, maybe I will write the essay.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Even if you're at a school yesterday, Rolla, 330 kids in their junior class.
Maybe 15 will turn it in.
Yeah, absolutely. And the kids that could have maybe won won't even try because they think there's no way I can make top 4 out of my whole class, but they don't have to. They only have to make top 4 out of the ones that write it and turn it in. Yeah. So
and
make competition hard for everybody.
Yeah.
Go ahead and try.
And here's the other thing, especially with the topic you have chosen. It would be great for all these young people, every single junior. It would be great for every single person in high school to take one day and sit there and reflect on a lesson that's changed your life.
And it may be something
It might be something very simple.
It might be, but this is their original work. And next year, they may have to be writing some essays for scholarship applications or something. Maybe this is something they could build on, kind of adapt to an essay they're going to have to write anyway.
But when you do an essay like this, when something that affects you, you have to look inside yourself.
Yeah.
You have to sit there and you can't go find it in a book. You can't find it, maybe in a scrapbook. Maybe you can. Maybe you have something in that scrapbook that's very memorable. But those things that change your life usually are they're cemented into your mind. That this is, and I was this way until this happened, and now I became this person because that happened.
Yeah.
Now, that's a great story, but why did it change you? What was it about you didn't like about yourself before that when that event happened, it made you change yourself?
Yeah.
I lost a brother in a car accident. That changed my life. Total. And cannot anybody ever ask me, how does that affect you, the loss of a sibling? You cannot imagine.
Yeah.
Just obviously the obvious grief, but what my brother had driven me to do, try and make this hockey team and try to do this and be this and this and this, and then he's gone. I don't have that guy behind me pushing me anymore.
Right.
It's all got to be from up above.
Right.
Now you've got to feel him in your heart, and that's got to drive you. And then when I made that hockey team, I went to my knees and I prayed. I said, thank you, my brother.
Yeah.
Very, very hard to put into words sometimes those life-altering events. But it sure makes you look back inside and then, why did it change me?
It does.
So it's a great opportunity for these juniors. And I'll tell you what, but it wouldn't hurt everybody out there just take a minute or two. What changed your life?
Yeah. And like you said, why was it impactful?
Why did it change your life?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I think we're going to have some
I think
really
it has-
moving
I do
essays
too.
to
I think
read.
you're gonna have some great ones.
I do too.
Very good. So, obviously, this is in February. So,
You got
our
some time.
intercounty crews are going around right now, and
Right.
they're laying the groundwork for all this.
Yeah.
But February is when they write that, turn that essay. Oh, I guess they can turn it.
They
in
can turn it in before
anytime.
the due date.
I
Yeah.
guess, yeah. 'Cause you already have one.
Yeah, we do. We've already got one. At
Well,
least.
you don't have it, but the school has it.
Yeah.
But definitely. Again, if you have a junior, know a junior. This is an opportunity. Again, we spend a lot of time talking about youth tour, but it's well worth it.
It's important.
And that's why we do spend this much time. And if you have any questions about youth tour, and if you are a homeschooler, feel free to call Intercounty.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They can give you the details. Call a school. If you're not getting the answers from the school, call Intercounty.
Yeah. We'll get you in touch with the right person.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to get to the right person because some people at the school may not know.
Right. That's true. It's possible. So give us a call if you can't.
What's that number?
Our toll-free number is 866-621-3679. And if you say anything about Youth Tour, they're going to send you either to me or Vanessa, and we will both be able to
There you
answer
go.
those questions.
Very good.
Yep.
All right. Youth tour. Get that submitted. You and juniors, don't pass it up.
Right.
Now, you talked about other changes.
Yes. So annual meeting.
2026. Annual
2026.
meeting.
It's January. It's crazy we're talking about annual meeting because it's not till June. But
I'll be here before you know
it will be here. And we've got in the February magazine that's coming out, we're going to have a little like, hey, there's changes. We don't know all the details yet, but this is the big thing. So you get to hear it first.
Ding, 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 ding.
We are going to do annual meeting in the late afternoon and evening this year. Typically, I say typically, for as long as I can remember, it's been from 8 to noon.
Yeah,
ish.
I don't know of any other time.
We're still going to do it on that last Friday, but we're going to start it at 3. We're going to go from 3 to 8.
It's going to be a dinner picnic.
Yeah, so big changes. That it changes a lot of logistics. There's things, obviously, you won't have breakfast from the fire department. We're not going to have the health fair because that requires fasting, but it's opened up a door. We're going to try this spring. We're working with the hospital to set up a health fair in our auditorium so that the community still
Okay.
has that option.
Still have the option.
Yeah. So that'll be something new, but annual meeting from 3 to 8 on that last
to 8.
Friday. So it'll still be light. It'll be getting darker, as the evening goes on, but
It's just going to be past the summer equinox, so it's going to be a lot of light.
there'll be a lot of light.
The longest day is June 21st, so.
Yeah, we're close. We're right there.
Yeah, right there.
But it's always weather dependent because
Well,
it is outside. So we have been already forecasting incredible weather. So if we can put in a good word with Stan, I think
Okay,
he
I'll
controls
work
that
on it.
sometimes.
Well,
But
I'm glad to know it's nighttime now, so.
yeah, 3 to 8.
I didn't want to have that great morning.
And we've got, of course, we'll still have music. We'll let them play on into the evening. We'll have the electric credit drawings, but we're going to have bucket truck rides. We're going to have some linemen designated to operate the buckets, and they're going to let people experience that. We are going to try to get a hot air balloon. Touchstone Energy has a hot air balloon. It'll be tethered, but we want to be able, and that's very weather dependent.
Yeah, okay, yeah, very well.
But we want to be able to have that, and yeah, just we're thinking
changes.
we're thinking a car show that afternoon, same time. There's lots of ideas on the table, but during the day is really hard for families, and it takes both people to work in a home now to make ends meet, and we're here to serve our members, and this is supposed to be a meeting for our members, so we've got to change it. we've got to do some things different so our members can enjoy it, so they can join us for it.
Is this a result from some members requesting this?
Yeah,
Okay.
so we do every other year we do a survey, and we have an increasing number of members that don't realize they're members. They are a customer of an electric company. They don't understand that the co-op is different, and that's failure on our part. So we want to do better in making sure our members know, hey, we're a co-op and you own us, and you get to vote for who represents you on the board,
Very good.
and you get to participate in making decisions, bylaw changes. We exist to serve them, and we want them to know that. And so 3 to 8, hopefully people, we can still have some people join us earlier in the day if they're retired and they want to still participate in the annual meeting.
It
but
might
then
be hot
it might
during
be.
the afternoon.
It
early
might be.
afternoon. It
But
could
you know,
be.
it's at the park. There's lots of shade.
No.
We've got the big fans. Hopefully it'll cool off as
I meant for them to get there early and be there all day.
yeah.
Might-
And
could
they
be. Could
and
be
they
a
might
lot.
not want to be there all day. Another change we've made the last couple of years is we've let voting be open as soon as they register, so they don't have to wait for a voting window. If they're there, they can go vote, and then hopefully families can come. Get off work, grab your spouse, your kids, come on up to the park, enjoy some music, grab some food off the grill, and enjoy the evening and enjoy each other, and maybe win an electric credit. And
But there's still
do a bucket truck
a lot
ride.
of
and
things to be decided yet. But the
Oh, yeah.
annual meeting is going to be at night.
It's going to be at night, 3 to 8 on that last Friday.
Well,
so
that is so cool.
yeah, so hopefully our members can put that on their calendar and at least be like, oh, I could make that work this year. After I get off work, I can head to annual meeting.
So when is the actual? You may not know this, but when is the actual business meeting going to be held? If you're going
5:30.
5:30.
Yep,
Okay.
business meeting will be from 5:30 to 6:30.
Okay.
So we wanted to try to make it not so late that people who needed to leave missed it, but early.
Not so early that
Yeah.
like 3 o'clock where you're still working.
Right. So 5:30 to 6:30 will be the
Okay.
business meeting, and we'll serve dinner right after business meeting's over, and have some music and give away some prizes, and I think it'll
I
be
like
good.
it.
I
I
think
like
it'll be
it.
good.
I like
yeah,
it.
it'll be
It's a-
different, and there'll be hiccups. So if you were there
yeah,
and
yeah.
something does not run smoothly, please be patient. Anytime you change something that major, we've been a well-oiled machine.
It's a big event.
It's a big event,
yeah.
and we all know what to do, and everybody knows their roles, and changing something this big, there's going to be stuff that, oh, I didn't think about that, and we'll figure it out and we'll make it work, but
Right.
be patient with us, and it'll be good.
Well, I really do believe, and that might be a change in the right direction. I really do.
I do
think
too.
So
I do
I
too.
really do, because people, obviously, in the mornings and in the summer, people are planning their vacations and stuff. But you know what? You can kind of make this as part of a vacation. Now, I mean, really, in all honesty, if you're heading somewhere and you're already driving, let's say you're driving to Branson or something from St. Well, just go through the meet. Now you can go to the intercounty annual meeting, go there, attend there, get a meal, attend the meeting, and then head on down to Branson
Yeah, you
or
could.
Springfield or
Wherever.
Columbia or wherever else.
Yeah,
I mean, if you got other plans, it just kind of really, you're not doing it in the morning, and then you got to wait another 5 hours to do anything else.
yeah,
So there
Yeah.
you go. Another idea. Gosh, we have all kinds of good ideas.
we do.
But anyway, that's really sounds interesting. I look forward to that one. I'll probably even be there.
Yeah, well, that would be great.
But this year I didn't have to work in the morning. I could have been there anyway.
You didn't have to add that part.
Well, yeah, I didn't, but I did.
Yeah.
But really, but if you'd like to, attend a meeting, and I think that morning meeting was always almost impossible for me to get to. But if you've never attended one, I highly recommend you
Yeah,
do.
this would be the year. It's our 90th year,
Yep.
so it'd be a fun year to
There you go.
something different and a big one.
There you go. Well, that's good. I like that. I like that idea. That's
Yeah.
a good one. Whoever
Yeah.
came up with that one, or whoever decided that this, without even testing, I mean, did they have a vote on this at the last annual meeting, or did they?
Well, we didn't have to vote on it. Our
No,
bylaws.
did you kind of bring it up as people were
We've
coming
been bringing
through?
it up for years.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So this is our board saying, yeah, okay, let's try something new.
And you don't have to get
years.
up at 3 a.m. and put the tents up
Right? How cool is that?
in the dark.
Yeah, but now the tear down is one of those logistics. Like,
Yeah.
okay, how do we do this? Do we come back
Next
the
day.
next day?
Next
Do we?
day.
Yeah, yeah. So
Next day.
there's a like I
But-
said, it's a big change, and there's going to be stuff we got to figure out, and we'll share it as we know it. But next month in the magazine, you'll see that it's going to be evening,
Great.
starting at 3:00.
Always check out your Rural Missouri magazine. There's always
Yeah.
good stuff in there.
Yeah.
All right, very good. You can also find out about the youth tour in there this
can.
past month as well.
Yep.
What else you got? You always got good news in January. Come on.
Well, hopefully you got your capital credit check.
Hopefully.
Hopefully at this.
Hopefully you've had it for a while.
If you didn't get it last month, well, we haven't met since they were mailed out. But if you did not get it and you had service in 05 or 06, please give our office a call. Maybe we don't have a good address on file for you, so we'll get that updated.
Yeah, some of those old county addresses.
Yeah. And especially if members are on prepay, they are not getting a bill. We don't have to mail them a bill on prepay. And so sometimes, I mean, it's been a while since your county has changed that,
Sure.
but it's possible if there was a change.
That was in that time frame. It was still the old addresses.
Yeah.
It's about 2012, I think, 10 to 12 that we went through
That
the
they
rural
changed
address
them.
changing. Yeah.
But if
So
you,
you still have HCR
Yeah.
12, box 21.
yeah. So if you
Where the
were a
heck is
member, yeah, no clue. If you were a member in 05 or 06 and you didn't get a capital credit check, give our office a call. We'll track down where it was sent to. Did we get it back? Do we have last year's for you still? I mean, that's possible. So, yeah, capital credit check.
Oh, yeah. There's still quite a list.
There is. There always is.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Quite a list. All right, very good. Yes, capital credit checks. Yes, I got mine. Thank you.
Good.
Appreciate that. Merry Christmas to me.
Right? That's always a nice thing to get. I do want to mention we have had nice weather. We've talked about that a little bit. There have been some cold spells. There will probably be some more. Smart Hub is a really great tool to keep an eye on your usage, but just keep in mind when you plug in those extra things like a heated dog water bowl or tank heaters or some people will plug in their tractors, different equipment. Anytime you have something new or extra plugged in, there's additional usage with that. We kind of talked about that last month with
We
space
did touch
heaters.
on it.
But when it's cold and you have electric heat, your heat is going to cost you more to run than your air does. And that's just, I don't want to say it's basic math, but it kind of is. If you want to
It's Heather math.
It's Heather math. So I make it real simple. If it's 100 degrees in the summer and you want your house at 70, your system has to work to change the temperature by 30 degrees. And that's a hot summer day. If it's 0 degrees outside and you want to warm your home to 70, that's 70 degrees different. Even if it's 30 degrees, we're at freezing. That's still 40 degrees different that your system is having to operate. It's having to do that. And a lot of times members, especially those with heat pumps are a very efficient option. Great heat source. If it gets to about freezing or it dips below freezing, your auxiliary heat or your emergency heat is what's going to be coming on. And for some people, that's electric strips. Those are like a straight electric furnace.
Yep.
And they are going to use more than what the heat pump does. But the heat pump can't keep up. So
Crowd's not warm
yes. And I say all that to say we've had a couple of members already that I know of this year, this past month, they've called in like, my bill seems really high. I don't know what's going on. And Abe's been able to work with them. If you have a heat pump and your thermostat gets switched over to emergency heat or auxiliary or backup, it may be called any of those things, that means your system is running on that backup heat source all the time,
Yeah.
even if it's a nice day. If I say a
Your
nice
heat
day,
pump's not working anymore.
if it's 50 degrees, your heat pump should be able to take
Right,
care of that,
sure.
not your backup heat. But if you have got that switch somehow over to emergency heat or that backup auxiliary heat, the heat pump's not working.
Yeah.
It's still those electric strips or whatever it is.
Depending on your thermostat, when you hit that mode button, going
Mm-hmm.
from heat to cool, if you put it on auxiliary heat instead of heat,
Yep.
oops.
Yep. And if you've got kids or teenagers that have access to that thermostat,
What?
I have one upstairs.
What?
He thinks he can push whatever buttons he wants.
Well,
Yeah.
that's teenagers.
It is. Like I was cold.
He likes to push mama's buttons,
He
too.
does push mama's
And
buttons.
whatever he wants.
Yeah. But you got to keep an eye on it
But
because
yes, you do.
it
You
can
need to check it all the time. My
Yeah.
thermostat's going out, and I need to
Yeah.
get another one because I can't adjust it anymore on the up.
Oh, okay.
It's getting to the point that it's a touch,
Yeah.
feather touch, and it's 20 years old.
So it's just kind
It's
of
programmable, but it's 20 years old.
yeah.
It's just time to bite
Replace
the bullet
it.
and
Yeah.
change it up. I just
Yeah.
hate to do it, but
So keep
because I know how this one works.
yeah. Well, keep an eye on
Yeah,
it anyway.
yes.
And just be aware that wintertime is when we see our highest bills for the majority of our members. But just know if you get that bill and hey, I'm going to struggle to pay that this month. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, if I pay that, am I going to be able to pay everything else too? We have payment arrangements that we can make to where you pay part of that now and then payments on the leftover part over the next few months. We have contacts at the different assistance organizations. We can put you in touch with them. Maybe they can help with some utility assistance. And then we have our Roundup program. And while it can't pay your electric bill, it could possibly help with something like a rent or mortgage payment or vehicle payment, something like that.
Okay. And one of the things we always try and remind people about is making sure and not so much in January we don't write about it, but you wonder why when we talk about insulation, we talk about weather stripping, we talk about that stuff, it's so important because if you can keep your home's temperature from deviating from where you want it more quick than you want it to, you're going to save money.
Right.
And that's where the savings come in. It's not so much, eliminating a little air coming in your house. Well, you're always going to be opening the door and letting some air into your house. You can't stop that from happening. But if it's a constant, well, say cool down, you may not notice it too much at 60 degrees or even 50. At 0, you might notice that little leak of air that's coming into your house a little quicker.
Yeah.
Especially on your feet if it's near the floor or if you have it near even an electric socket. I noticed in my own home. I have an electric socket where, it's cut out. Well, the insulation behind the electric socket isn't as much as it is everywhere else on the wall. And I can feel a change in temperature right there, especially when the wind's blowing from the west right into my house. So yeah, you can feel it. Now, I can't really do anything about it. I can tuck a little bit more insulation around it, but it's just one little spot. It's not allowing air in. It's just cooler. But if you can feel that,
Yeah.
without the air coming in, can you imagine what it's like with air coming in?
Right. Yeah. And those little things do make a difference in how often your heating system runs. Whether it's electric heat or not, that system's going to be running longer.
It's cooler.
Yeah.
It's constantly cooling
Yeah.
your air down.
Yep.
You're fighting to heat it up. That little consistent flow of air coming in is doing its best to cool it right back down.
Yeah. So give us a call. If you get your bill, you've got some sticker shock, we want to help you figure out what's causing it first of all, so we can help you figure out how to get that back and manage it better. But then maybe we can get you some help on either payment arrangement or some utility assistance or something.
There's money with LIHEAP right now, so
Good.
we did investigate that, and I said there is plenty of money right now. So if you need it, but remember it ends in March, so don't sit there and say, well, I'm going to wait and see how much more my bill can be. But one of the things we haven't talked about in quite a while, or maybe a couple months, that was just quite a while, is levelized billing.
Yeah.
If you have been an intercounty customer 12 months, you can get on in levelized billing.
Right. It's a great budgeting tool. And you do have to be not just a member for 12 months, but you have to be at
That
that
same
same
address.
location.
Yes.
And as long as you've been there for 12 months, then we can find your average. Because, like we talked about, summer, winter, spring, and fall, we all have different usage patterns. Levelized billing is going to take the average over the last 12 months and budget your bill for that amount. It's a great tool so you know how much your bill is going to be every month. You can budget for that. You're very prepared. Now, I will tell you, make sure you're looking at your bill, whether it's electronic or still on paper, because we will show you what you actually used.
Sure.
Now, in the spring, maybe it hurts a little to have to pay extra, and you're like, man, if I was on levelized billing, I could pay this much cheaper bill. Keep in mind, in the winter, then
And in the summer, if
and
you
in the
have air
summer,
conditioning.
you're not having to pay as much. So, levelized billing, budget billing, it does exactly what it sounds. But on that 13th month, we will reevaluate what your new average is. So please be mindful of your usage habits, because what we don't want to see is somebody that's like, well, I can just use whatever I want because my bill doesn't change. So instead of keeping my thermostat at 70, I'm going to bump it to 75 because
Holy
it doesn't
cow.
change my bill.
Yeah. It will change your bill.
On that 13th month, when we re-look at your new usage patterns, we'll say, okay, this is what your new average is. And if it's more, we're not going to make you come up with that difference. We'll just bump your amount. Same as if it's less. If you've had a change, we'll decrease your amount and you'll slowly kind of eat up that credit. But it's a really good tool.
Yeah.
It's a really
It keeps
good tool.
track on there, tells you what you're ahead and what you're behind. You
Yeah.
know, and if you fall behind in March and you're thinking, oh my gosh, but they do, let's just say you get levelized billing today, obviously, you're going to probably be behind.
You're going to start out in the hole.
Yeah, you're going to start out in the hole. And then as the spring comes, you'll see a catch up.
Yeah.
And then as the summer comes, you may get a little bit behind again and you catch right back up. So, the idea is over 12 months, you're going to be at about where you would normally be with your bill.
Right.
So there's not that big, all of a sudden. And if you have one albatross of a crazy month, it's not going to sit there and just absolutely tear you apart.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right.
And that's the whole idea behind levelized billing.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's my idea behind levelized billing. I do it with my natural gas.
Yeah. And you can call and ask the co-op to calculate what your levelized billing amount would be. You don't, just because they calculate that doesn't mean you have to sign up for it. So if you want to call and say, hey, if I were to sign up for levelized billing, what would it be? We've got a calculator. They can plug your information into.
We've got one calculator over at Intercounty.
We have a calculator, right? So this is an Excel sheet that's saved on their desktops. They enter some information in
I
that,
see.
and we've got it programmed on the back end. It does all the math for them, and they can really quickly over the phone give you what that number would be. And then if you decide you do want to do that, you can ask them to send you the form. And if you want to think about it, you can say, okay, thank you. And
Yeah. You
No
can
harm
do
done.
It. Don't have to do it.
right.
Totally up to you.
Yep.
But it is a great budgeting tool.
It is.
So there you go. Kind of keep that in mind.
Good stuff.
It is good stuff. You got anything else?
I don't think so. I'll have something next month.
Next month.
Something else new.
That's scary.
It's good. It's so
it's
good.
good?
It's
Gonna be
so
good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
I will take your word for it. So, okay. Very good. So, Heather, thank you again
Yeah,
for coming
thank
in
you.
and spending some time with us. Intercounty Tuesday is our second Tuesday of the month, and we always appreciate Heather or a representative of Intercounty making their way over and talking to us a little bit about different stuff they've got going on. This was a whole bunch of new stuff.
It
new
is.
youth
Changes.
tour, new annual meeting, new.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
New next month.
New next month, you're going to have something else.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I have to
Good.
find out what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, we really do appreciate you joining us right here at KSMO. Don't forget, if you missed part of the interview, you can go back on our live streams. And, of course, it's recorded on our YouTube, KSMO YouTube page and KSMO Stream Facebook page. So if you missed it, you can go back
catch
and
it
listen
later.
again, catch up with it, find out about all this good stuff going on.
Yeah.
Nothing like that at all. Heather, again, thank you very much
Thank
for coming
you.
in, spending some time with us right here on KSMO Media. All right, stick around. We've got